All right. Good day, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It doesn't depends where you are and when you are looking at this SGVirtual, which we are pleased to have a Gira. Now, bear with me, SZAKMAR. Huh?
It's not an easy one. SZAKMAR.
SZAKMAR from eduGamiTech, who joined us today for the first SGVirtual in 2021. Welcome, Gira. It's easier, Gira.
Yes. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you. So the aim is, it's a fireside chat. It should be more or less casual and short. So let's start with the usual question. For those who don't know eduGamiTech or the services you are offering, if you would, in a nutshell, explain what is eduGamiTech? What is the service or product you are offering?
eduGamiTech is aiming to bridge education with the world of entertainment. Basically, what we are doing in every single work, every single aspect, every single solution that we are providing is building a connection between the digital entertainment. Could be video game, could be videos, it could be any kind of entertaining content, and bring the education in it. Basically, this is what I used to say, that we are bringing the broccoli of learning into the chocolate of gaming, or chocolate of entertainment.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, after all the festivities, to have this sweet scents coming on with the chocolate and so on. The other thing is, very often behind every new company, every new venture, every new product or service, there's a story behind. I mean, how did you come up with the idea? I mean, what was the initial opportunity or pain you saw and you told yourself, but eventually there's something we could do against it?
It is a very, very personal story in my case. I'm a game developer. This is my past. I making computer games for over 20 years now. This is my passion. This is the first thing what is coming up when I'm talking about myself, that I'm making games. How cool is that? This is the coolest thing ever. We moved into Luxembourg with my two daughters and my husband 7 years ago. And my daughter started the local system, the local Luxembourgish school system. And I only spoke in English, my husband too, no French, no Luxembourgish, no German. And, they came home with this long vocabularies. And I was just like, how can I help you? Okay, I try, but it's not working very well. So, if you have a hammer, every problem is a nail. So, wow, but I can make games. So that was the point when I just started to create educational games, and I changed the content based on the vocabularies what they got every single time. But it was really, really hard work. It was really, really hard to create a build, to put it into the devices and change the content every single time when they came home with a new lesson. And at one point, I just stopped doing it. And luckily, that was the point that they already more or less been able to learn by themselves. But what I found that it was extremely easy for them and extremely motivating for them to sit down with a game and having fun. And it was extremely effective. So they basically learned faster and with more joy and better than without the games. So that was the basic of the story, that, okay, but what if we can change the content inside the games without touching the game part? What if we are just basically create game templates? So when I met my former co-founders in the University of Luxembourg Incubator, I was just really on the spot with them to create something amazing, something very cool, game-based learning tool. And this is where MemoMoti was born. This is where eduGamiTech was born, and this is where MemoMoti was born. MemoMoti is a platform where you can integrate any kind of learning content, any subject into digital games, just as I did it 7 years ago with the Luxembourgish and the German lessons for my daughters.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you had the opportunity that you had some background in game developing, so you saw the pain, and then you told, as you explained, okay, there's a potential solution to it. How did you move about it? You have touched a little bit upon the incubator of the university. How did that work on from, let's say, taking the content, gamifying it, if you allow me to say it like that, and going to the step that you have a viable prototype? Was the incubator, did it play a role, or was there something else?
Basically, having a prototype, it was a long process. We started to work together with the support of the University of Luxembourg Incubator around March, and basically the first prototype was ready to try in November. And we are talking about like 2018 November, so it was a really long time ago. And since then, that was a lot of iteration, a lot of development, and a lot of work on this product. So and it was a long thought process. Basically, what is MemoMoti now? What our goals are now? Very different from that first thing what we dreamed about. The main and core element what was changed is basically that we would like to allow people to do what they are the best in, and we don't want to force a teacher to make games, because believe me, if you take take a look on the market, how educational games look like, it is not good. It's just not good. It's not for fun. It's for learning. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, because the teacher have the broccoli, they have to sell it, but they are not good at it, making chocolate. So this is what game developers are brilliant. But at the moment when they are narrowed down with the subject, they are not able to make really joyful, tasteful experience. So what we are providing right now is the opportunity to any game developer to take any subject and implement it into any game what they have, any idea, any brilliant, fun and engaging game. Take our SDK, software developer kit, build it into their game. And from that point, our educators, our learners, the children, the parents, the teachers, going to send their own homework through the MemoMoti channel into those games. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry I just went further for the subject, but I got a lot of support during this work from the University of Luxembourg, from my former game developer friends and connections. Also, there is a lot of organization here in Luxembourg. It's very supportive. The WIDE, for example, the network, for example, and those organizations are basically listen. They are, every single person working with me right now. It was just started as a conversation, a chat that, I'm doing this and I love this, but I need someone with understanding of money. And at one point, someone just came back to me that, I know a guy who good with money, and that was exactly the same with every single person in the company, that they could relate with the pain, they could relate with the solution, but what brought them on board was just that I was talking, people are listening, and think about it, that it's a match, and they made that connection. And this is brilliant in a Luxembourgish startup ecosystem, that you are thinking all the time, thinking about your peers, your other startups. When you hear something, you are sending the messages. When you just get to know someone, that yeah, that would be really cool opportunity for them. So I think that is that an answer?
No, go ahead. It's nice. I mean, the idea is that we have a discussion, a chat about it. But the other thing is, I mean, you mentioned 2018 or something like that, and now we are more at 2020. You also said, okay, of course, the idea, the first prototypes and so on, they evolved, and you had a team joining you. Do you now have at this time a viable product which you are able to sell, to offer, or is it still too early? Are you in the beta phase or something like that?
I think that I am somewhere in between the two phases. So basically, the beta phase is closing right now, and our monetization channels are just opening in the upcoming months. So we are there. We are there, and I really hope that this part will be exciting, cool, and a little bit less tiring than all the other steps was brought us here. But this is it, that you have to grow. You have to run, and have to stand up every time when you fall. So this is it. This is the normal life of entrepreneurs.
The other thing is, I mean, you have been talking about developing, you have been talking about the team, and then the company was also a word you used, and so on. How did you gather the resources financially, operationally, and so on? How did you move about that one? Because it's one thing to see the opportunity, to eventually have a solution, then to develop it in the corner in your available time, not spare time, but available time, and then do the next step to really fully engage with it. And if you fully engage with it, I mean, you need to have to pay the bills, your bills somewhere. So how did you move about that part, if I may ask? Or the whole company, I mean, not only you, but the whole project, the whole venture.
This part, the financial part, was the hardest. Most of a lot of part of the development, lot of things what we did before last May was financed by us. Basically, we invested family money and all the funders and the team invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources, financial resources into this project. Mm-hmm. Luckily, in last May, we've been able to bring in a brilliant, supportive investor, Neil Ward. He is the former CEO of the Skype. He is a really big heart philanthrope. He is a brilliant support and help for us in many fields. I would say that when you are talking about smart money, when you are talking about investment of time and knowledge and not just money, we just got it. We just really been lucky enough to get an investor who actually bring value over the money into the venture. So since then, we developed a lot of things. We also started a marketing activity. We soft launched the project. We measured the reactions, and now we are working on a lot of different things. But and we are fundraising. So this is actually for the next round. We need investors.
And now, I mean, do you have issues because in Luxembourg, you are based in Luxembourg, most of your team is either based in Luxembourg or has a link to Luxembourg, and there's very often in Luxembourg, there's the assumption that it's difficult to find skilled people, skilled team members. Do you have this issue? Or if not, maybe you don't have it right now, but do you think that this could be a bottleneck for you, and how would you eventually address it?
I have in the team, we have a couple of people from Luxembourg. And we have developer teams from 3 different countries. Our marketing person sitting in Spain. So basically, if I really think about this company, is the Luxembourg-based company, but it's already international, and it is just a small startup right now. I believe that this awful COVID situation show us that sitting together in an office is a nice and fine experience, but it's not really necessary to do big things. And that opportunity, giving opportunity to work on amazing ideas, amazing things, it shouldn't be limited by actual borders. I think that Luxembourg is in a good way to build that skillful and strong developers, even game developers, thanks to the Lycée d'Arts et Métiers BTS program, where really amazing game developers are just coming out every year. But what I want to say that yes, Luxembourg will be there, and I think that there is a really cool source of knowledge in the expat community, but is not used. A lot of people who is husband and wife of someone who came here to work for a bank or Amazon or the EU institutions are sitting home with a really strong skill set, and they just don't know what to do. And I think the startupping, it is the best thing what could happen with me. I met amazing, brilliant people, and you know, in my venture, working people with like 10 times higher skill set and knowledge base. Thanks to that they are, you know, time to time they're just not used what they have because they didn't get the opportunity here in Luxembourg. So, in one hand, you're right that there are missing experts on multiple fields, but we have a really strong pool. What we should use. We should bring these people together. We should just connect them, and that would be just amazing. That could build extremely cool stuff.
The other thing is, there's also been the question raised in the chat, is you have now a solution, and how was the acceptance of those the solution was tended to, either the educators and the pupils? How was the acceptance, and how did you approach it to get it into the market? How did you approach that?
Sorry, could you please?
Yeah, no problem. I mean, you have now a product or a solution which more works or is operational. And how did you get it to your targeted audience, either the educators or the students? How did you go about it? And then, of course, how do you intend to make money out of it?
Well, this is also an interesting journey to bring users to who could use your tool. Basically, we did a little bit of social media marketing, but what we find is that though people are more open for online learning tools than before, but we are also in a when the house is on fire, you start thinking about safety solutions after you just kill the fire, and now you are just using whatever you can find around you. So it's really hard to acquire users right now. What we decided to take us for now is that basically we are trying to reach schools directly. We are reaching schools and teachers through email campaigns and also directly, and try to reach our users. Basically, our end users are the children and the learners through them. And we have a school option, paying option, and we will open a premium option for our users also very soon. But the answer to your question is that we are just going directly to schools, organizations. The interesting thing is that because of the learning content is user created, and the games are kind of a broad level of for small ones, for interesting for us as an adults also. And we also have to learn. And university level, university students also have to learn, memorize a lot of things. That basically it's not narrowing down to teachers, parents, children level. We already have a lot of users who is using the Memomoti in really surprising way, in a really surprising subject, and I think that that would be our main goal. That more curriculum, more learning, more diversity to bring to the platform.
Great. That's great. The other thing is, I mean, how would you see, we are now coming a little bit to the end, so we are looking a little bit to the future now. How would you see the evolution of eduGamiTech, I mean, of your venture, let's call it your venture, and don't stick me to the names, is how would you see the evolution? Do you have already some vision in mind where you would like to drive through, or is it, like you said, now you're on the grinding process of really getting running and having things done, and trying to achieve one or the other milestones? What do you foresee in the next, that's the short-term future, or short-term future and long-term future?
I am a big dreamer. I wouldn't stop before we changed completely the way of learning, because it's just time to change it. Our grandparents learned exactly the same way as we did, and every single part of our life evolved to the stars, and except you are still sitting on the sofa with your poor kid with those papers, and try to push it into the head. Yes, no, we don't need this. When we are small kids, we know how to learn by playing. We are touching it, we are doing it, we are just learning by playing. Half of the Hungarians who speaks English right now learned by playing video games. I mean, this is it. This is the future. What I see in the future is it's a concept of all-day learning. Every single aspect of your life brings a new knowledge, and it's an interaction, and using new tools, new gadgets, new digital devices to bring that little sparkle of knowledge, what you are going to remember, and it's build up a real knowledge, and it's linked to other knowledge bases. What I see that at one point the former education going to be something what you are doing while you are living your life, while you are getting entertained, when you are playing, when you are walking the forest. All and everything is an opportunity for learning. This is exactly the same thing when you 5 years old, holding your father's hand, walking the forest and asking questions and he's answering. This is how I imagine the future of learning. Every single point of your life, every single interactions in your life. If it's digital, if it's real world, it's an option to ask questions and an option to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the long term.
No, that's marvelous. I mean, that's really great. That's really, really great. And so far, I mean, if you look at the chat, I mean, your story really, people liked it. And then they also said, yeah, that's the way we would also like to have education done. And how can we help and so on. That's really great. The other thing is now we are closely running to a quarter. Though, if you like, those who like, they can join us at the booth of eduGamiTech. I will just send the link in the chat. No, that's the wrong link, unless you will disturb us. Here's the right link. So there you have the link to the booth of eduGamiTech, where you could join us and where Gira and some of her colleagues will be available to answer one or the other questions to you. Or if you have just other immediate questions, you can either shoot them via the chat or go to the booth and then we see us there. So I don't know if there's any other questions so far. Let's see. Okay. If there are no questions, so what I would like to say, thank you very much, Gira. And thank you. I'm really looking forward to your future, and also to, let's say, so also use it as a more grown-up person, because as a grown-up person, I'm also still a dreamer, and you would like to play, and this allows you to play.
Yes, it is. It is. You can play and learn at the same time. This is it.
So great. Thank you very much. And we see us at your booth. I just sent the link in the chat. It's also on our website. And even those, if you now see us through the baby, you have up there, you see booth in the menu. And if you click on booth, then you have a link there telling you to join us at Boosted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you very much for the opportunity. And thank you guys that joining to us today. And see you in the booth.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.